I'm Gnosis. Welcome to your daily tarot reading for the 17th of February 2021. First card is the Seven of Cups. Five of Swords. Six of Cups. Two of Pentacles. And the Hermit. Your first card representing your current situation is the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups reminds us of the paradox of choice, not having the freedom to be able to choose between things in our life is a cause of misery. It's upsetting to the human condition. Yet, conversely, having too many choices, having too many options, having too much freedom can be a source of anxiety. The reason for that being when circumstances happen to us, when fate happens to us, we can just go along with it. We can say c'est la vie. But when we have options and we make choices and decisions, then to some degree we are responsible for what befalls us in our lives, because somewhere along the way we have made decisions that have led us to that point. And then we have to ask ourselves, did I make the right decision? Would my life be different if I have chosen otherwise? So this is the dilemma represented by the Seven of Cups here. Do we even know what makes us happy? Is what we think will make us happy the same thing as what we need? And in order to answer that sort of question, we have to really know ourselves. We really have to have a handle on who we are and what our limitations and what our strengths are. Interestingly enough, that's the theme of the next card, of the card that's representing your consciousness at this time, the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a card of ego. It's a card of flexing, engaging with others, perhaps not necessarily in physical combat as represented by the illustration of the card, perhaps a combat or a challenge or a test that proves our intellectual capacity. As we know, there are all sorts of ways that people dominate others. In your unconscious, you have the Six of Cups, representing innocence, nostalgia, altruism. So why would this be something buried in the back of your mind? Why would these things be verboten? I suspect this is a reading about a person who doesn't quite know who they are, which is why they find it difficult when faced with multiple options. Perhaps it's about sexual greed. In your near future, you have the Two of Pentacles. Perhaps this is your first meaningful challenge in terms of discovering who you are. Two of Pentacles about balancing material, physical needs. Do we have what it takes to weather the storms of circumstance that come to all of us in our lives? Or are we too busy obsessing about what we want and when we want it? You feel that the lack of restraint in your life is making you unhappy. Perhaps you sense this in some way. And something probably happens materially to make you realize that on a practical level. You end your reading with a Hermit. As you reach the end of your spread, you most certainly start to reach a place where you are more self-reflective, where you're starting to think about what you would have chosen at the beginning of your reading. I'm thinking by the time that we get to this point, You already know what you want out of life. You already know what's going to benefit you, what's going to be good for you. Well, there was definitely some confusion at the beginning with the Five of Swords, and you're closing yourself off from your more altruistic impulses. So that's your daily tarot reading for the 17th of February 2021. I'm Gnosis. Please join me for more tarot readings.